Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on DBMS. In our last discussion, we talked about functional dependency, and today we are going to see basic rules that the functional dependencies in DBMS follow. These rules are called as Armstrong exams or the rules. There are two kinds of Armstrong exams, that is the primary exams or the rules and the secondary exams and the rules. These primary rules are the fundamental rules that can be used to derive the secondary rules as well. So the first rule is reflexivity. Reflexivity states that if there is a set of attributes, that is y, which is a proper set of which is the proper subset of another set of attributes, that is x, then there will be a functional dependency from x to y. Let's take the example. If suppose the x has three attributes, that is a, b and c. Now there is another set of attributes, that is y, and it has to be the proper subset of x. So let us take a, b over here. So the rule states that x will functionally derive y. That means there will be a functional dependency from x to y. So it means nothing but this, that ABC has the functional dependency to B. So if we can recall, this is nothing but the case of non-trivial functional dependency that we discussed in our last class. That is, we discussed that we already know the value of AB. Now obviously if I know the value of AB, this functional dependency holds true. Although this is of no use to us, and such kind of functional dependencies are called as non-trivial functional dependency. So this is actually the reflexivity rule. Next is augmentation. Augmentation rules says that if there is a functional dependency from x to y, then I can add the same attributes on left hand side and the right hand side, right? So again it states what? If I know the value of z, obviously again I can derive the value of z. So I can augment the same number of attributes or the same attributes on left hand side as well and on the right hand side as well. This is the augmentation rule. And the third primary rule is transitivity. Transitivity states that if x has the functional if we have a functional dependency from x to y and y to z, then there is a functional dependency from x to z as well. Say for example, if I know lyrics of a song, I can know the song name, right? And if I know the song name, I can know the movie name, right? So can I say that if at the first place, if I knew the lyrics of the song, I can find out the name of the movie, right? So this is actually nothing but the transitivity principle, right? From lyrics, we could find out the movie name, although there was not direct functional dependency from lyrics to movie name. So this is actually the transitivity rule. Now let's see the secondary rules. Now the first secondary rule is union. It says that if there is a functional dependency from x to y and x to z, so we can say that there will be a functional dependency from x to yz. And likewise for decomposition, we can see if there is a functional dependency from x to yz, then we can also say that there is a functional dependency from x to y and x to z. Let's see the example. Now suppose x is AB and y is CD. So if there is a functional dependency from AB to CD, I can apply the decomposition rule to write that there will be a functional dependency from AB to C and there will be a functional dependency from AB to D. And likewise, if we are given with this set of functional dependencies, that is AB to C and AB to D, so we can apply the union operation and we can write that there is a functional dependency from AB to CD. Now we also need to understand, suppose we have a functional dependency from A, B to C. Now by applying the decomposition rule, can I also write that it is A to C and B to C? Now we need to see whether the decomposition in these both cases, we had seen that we had applied the union and the decomposition on the right hand side of the functional dependency. Now over here we can see that we are applying the decomposition on the left hand side of the functional dependency. So is this possible? The answer is no. Why? Because let's take an example. Suppose this A and B are student name and the father name of student, and the C is suppose the roll number, right? By writing this, what are we trying to do? Actually, we are saying that with student name, we can know the roll number of the student, and with the father name of student, we can again know the roll number of the student. Now, do these things mean the same thing? Let's take an example. Suppose there is a student with the name Raj, right? Now, in a class, there can be two students with the same name, right? So if there are two students, Raj 1 and Raj 2, now by knowing the name of the student and the father's name of one Raj is suppose Mohit, and another student named Raj, the father name is suppose Rahul. Now if I try to determine that, if I know the value of student named Raj, now can I know the roll number of the student? No, because there are two students with the same name. Now, if I know the father's name, that is Mohit and Rahul. Now again, there can be third student. Say the third student is Ram, and now the father's name of Ram is also Mohit. Now, if I am having Mohit, can I know what is the name, roll number of the student? It can be either this roll number, or it can be either this roll number, right? Again, we cannot know. But if we make the combination of two, if we are saying that student name and father name together is going to determine the roll number, so it does not mean the student name alone can determine the roll number, or the father name alone can determine the roll number of the student. So basically, these two operations are not same. This means the AND operation, that is, we should be knowing the value of both the attributes to know the value of this attribute, right? So by knowing simply the value of one single attribute, that is A over here, we cannot determine the value of C. Likewise, by only knowing the value of B, we cannot determine the value of C, right? So we cannot apply this decomposition rule to the left hand side of the functional dependency. Now, one more thing, suppose if we are being given with these two functional dependency, if we try to apply union over it, can I write A, B to C? Now, logically, if we see, we can write this. Logically, it is correct. If we know A to C, B to C, obviously, if we know the value of AB, we can know the value of C. But again, this is only going to weaken the strength of our functional dependency. Here, it meant that if we knew the value of A alone, we can derive the value of C. If we knew the value of B alone, we could derive the value of C. But by applying union over these two functional dependency, we are actually making it this way, that if we know the value of AB both, only then we can derive the value of C. So that is basically weakening the strength of our functional dependency. So we should not be doing this, although it is logically correct, right? Now let's see pseudo-transitivity. Pseudo-transitivity rule states that if we have a functional dependency from X to Y and then WY to Z, then it means we will have functional dependency from WX to Z. Now, if I use augmentation rule on the first functional dependency, so we can add W on both ends, that is Wx to Wy. Now with the transitivity rule, we can say that since Wx is deriving xy, we can say this is x to y, and again this is y to z. So we can say we will also have x to z. So this is the principle of transitivity. So with that principle, we can say Wx to z also we have a functional dependency. So this was pseudo transitivity. Next is the composition rule. composition rule states that if we have functional dependency from x to y and from z to w, then we are going to have the functional dependency from x, z to y, w, right? Now with the augmentation rule, if I add over here z to the left hand side and z to the right hand side on first functional dependency, and x on left hand side and x on right hand side to the second functional dependency, now we can see in both these functional dependencies the left hand side is same, that is zx, zx. Now if we apply union over these two functional dependencies, we can write zx2, we can write z y w x, right? So now over here, if we only consider on right hand side, if we only consider this y w, although we have also got zx over here, by knowing the value of this we are also knowing all these four values, attribute values. But if we only consider y w and we ignore the values of z and x, then we can see over here that x z, basically these are the same thing, zx or xz, so we are having xz to yw. So this was the composition rule. Now we in our upcoming videos we are going to see that how we can use these exams in our DBMS. Thank you.